Hello and welcome to Hold All Tickets, a World Pool preview in collaboration with the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Bet with the World. I'm your host, Alex Donnelly, joined as always in these World Pool previews by Xavier Pegum. Pegs, a huge weekend of racing worldwide.
There was a lot going on. There was a lot, and I love it.
We're racking up the frequent flyer miles in this show. Not personally, hint, hint, but in the show. We're starting off at Caulfield for Blue Diamond Day. Then we will head to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia at King Abdulaziz racetrack for their big Saudi Cup meeting, headlined, of course, by Romantic Warrior taking on the dirt for the first time. And then we just roll back to Hong Kong with J-Mac, who is trying to get back to Hong Kong in time because we have the Stewards Cup and a Group 1 over 2,000 metres there as well. So, ridiculous amount of air miles for J-Mac this weekend.
I was just about to say, I reckon he's in the Chairman's Club.
He's absolutely in first class. But anyway, of course, we are brought to you by the Hong Kong Jockey Club in collaboration with the World Pool. Please, a bet with the world this weekend. All right, Pegs, let's rip in because we have Caulfield races 6 through 10 at Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. We are races 3 through 9, and then we have 2 races in Hong Kong to finish us off, the 2 Group 1s there this weekend. So let's start off at Caulfield. First race of which being a race 6. It is the Mannerism Stakes over 1,400 metres. It is for the mares, 4-year-old and upwards, and it is set weights and penalties. I'll kick us off here. I'm with number 4, Samana for Kieran Ma. With the taking the ride here is Thomas Stockdales. I just lost my words. That's a great start for us here on the World Pool Show. But look, I thought this horse was solid enough in the CF4 Stakes last start. Hit the line well enough. Was in the wrong part of the track on the day there. That came after a fantastic run first up in the Gold Coast Magic Millions Sprint. I think third up from a spell, back in grade. She looks set to peak here, and she's going to be hard to beat from barrier 2.
Yeah, I've gone just nice little win bet with So Glamorous. Was very impressive first up this prep, and step up to 1,400 metres should suit. Should look to lead with the wide draw, and I think that Caulfield track will accommodate it.
Go across to race number 7. It is the Futurity Stakes, 1,400 metres, weight for rage. It is a Group 1, of course, headlined by Mr. Brightside, who was on track for the Champions Mile this preparation over in Hong Kong. That'll be a fascinating clash if he goes up against Voyage Bubble and co. But anyway, we need to get through this weekend. I'm not super keen on Mr. Brightside this weekend from barrier 11. It's going to be 35 degrees here in Melbourne this weekend. And if the wind picks up from gate 11, he could get stuck in a bit of no man's land. So I'm just going to throw down a trifecta with 4 horses here, mate. I'm going to go number 1, Mr. Brightside. I Wish I Win, who returns. He's got the blinkers off, the nose roll back on. His record over 1,400 metres is phenomenal. 5 starts and yet to miss a place. Then you got Pericles, number 3 in that trifecta. Great record over 1,400 metres as well. 8 goes at the distance for 3 wins, a further 3 placings. He's ready to go first up. And old mate Tommy Kitten, number 4
like
for Ben Mellum. First up, 2 wins. He won first up over 1,400 metres last time in. Then he was fantastic in the Bill Ritchie, Epsom, King Charles and Golden Eagle. That form fits in. So numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4 in my trifecta. Nice and easy.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm going to go with the Quinella. I'm going to go with Mr. Brightside and I Wish I Win. There's certainly a bit of class in this race. However, I think Mr. Brightside is simply too good for a lot of the field. He's going to have a bit of work to do drawing the car park, but I think he'll be able to lead. I think he'll be able to handle that. And I just think I Wish I Win. Also, just another really classy horse.
He looks ready to go too off a couple of jump outs. All right, let's get across to race number 8. It is the main race at Caulfield this weekend. It is the Blue Diamond Stakes, 1,200 metre Group 1 for the 2-year-olds. Tricky race. Very tricky race. No standout coming into it this year, as you'll see with the odds. I'm going to have 2 each-way bets. First of which being at number 5, Devil Knight for Team Hawks, Michael D. Thought he was fantastic on debut. Jumped from barrier 1 with Shane Foley. Just sat in behind the speed. On the fence wasn't the place to be on the day, but he kept finding and finding and finding. And for those who took the big odds that day, I'd say follow in again, because from barrier 2, he's going to get another perfect run once again. If he takes any natural improvement, he's going to be hard to beat as well. Next one in the race, I'm having an each-way bet on is number 15, Tempted, James Cummings, Craig Williams. Awesome win on debut at Warwick Farm back in December. And then I thought was really good coming from near last in the Widden Stakes. And the form ties in here with the winner, the Playwright, being in this race, so I know you're keen on.
Yeah.
I thought she was great. The step up from 11 to 1,200 metres and second up, all ticks for me. So 2 each-way bets, number 5, Devil Knight, and number 15, Tempted.
Yeah, I'm going to go on an each-way bet as well, Alex. I'm going to hit the Playwright, who became a stakes winner in her last start. Regan Bayless hops aboard, comes down from Sydney. He's going to do his best job to try and ease her heading down that straight. But I think she'll lead, and I think Caulfield would accommodate that.
Yeah, it usually does for those 2-year-olds as well, especially if they can get rolling.
And draws well.
Yeah, it does. So typical Gay Waterhouse horse, going to go forward. You know what it'll be. Race 9 is the Oakley Plate, 1,100 metres. This is an absolute lottery. Punters, if you find the winner, good luck to you.
Yeah.
I'm going to have a Quinella in this one. Number 1, IME being one of them. Last preparation, she was fantastic in Sydney, winning the Concord and the shorts on the way to the Everest where things didn't go her way, but she's at an 1100 metre handicap, which is suitable here. Also throwing number 5, Ray Magnerio in that because, well, Ray's just as honest as the day is long. You would love to own Ray. He's had 9 goes at 1100 for 5 wins and 2 placings. He was good when he won the Rubiton first up, which is the logical lead up for this. And I'm going to throw in old mate Jimmy Starr, number 7, first up from a spell. He won like he had rockets attached to his backside over the track and distance last preparation coming down the middle of the track. Barrier 14, they're going to fly. Jimmy's going to be flying at them late. So a Quinella of 1, 5, and 7 there in the Oakley plate.
I'm going to go Quinella with IME and Sandsdude. I saw Sandsdude gallop on Tuesday at Caulfield, and she looked like she was in terrific order. IME 1100 metres is absolutely this mare's sweet spot, and fairly happy with the value there as well.
I like it. All right, let's get to the final event of the day. It is the Victoria Gold Cup over 2,000 metres. Tough way to finish the day here, punters. I'm going to have something each way on Herman Hess, number 4. 5 goes at the track for 2 wins. He's going to be massive odds, but he's had a jump out since his last run at Pakenham in the Pakenham Cup. He was running in some pretty good races last preparation. He won the Herbert Power. He was good in the Geelong Cup. He was good in the Bendigo Cup, and then he ran in a good race at Newcastle. So I think from a barrier 3, he sits just in behind the leaders, and he'll just slog it out. I think he's a great each way bet to finish off the day.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a each way on Deny Knowledge. We know what she can do over 2,000 metres, especially at Group 1 level. But you know what? I'm actually going to join you there as well. I'm going to have a little each way with Herman Hess. I really like the form lines there, and I think the spell's really going to suit.
Yeah. All right, let's get across to Saudi Arabia. The racing continues into Saturday night here on the World Pool Preview. Saudi Cup night. Race number 3 is our first event of the evening. It is the Saudi Derby over 1,600 metres for the 3-year-olds. Northern Hemisphere and Southern Hemisphere are all in this. Colts, Geldings, Fillies all on the dirt here. I'm going to go with Myriad Love with the win bet here, number 11. This horse is 3 for 3 on the NAR circuit in Japan, but has been running fast time and getting the job done with consummate ease. I think this is a horse on the way up. We saw in the last couple of years of the Saudi Cup meeting, the Japanese connections target this meeting and they collect money year after year after year. And I think this filly will just jump, run, keep on going, and I think she's going to be very hard to beat, and she could very well make it 4 for 4.
Yeah, I'm going to go an each way bet with Apples and Bananas, trained by the great Joseph O'Brien. Listen, this colt is certainly up to the task of tackling a mile, having prior success at a similar distance. Deauville draws nicely with barrier 4, but however, what I'm really interested in seeing is how he handles the dirt. There's a bit to play with here, so I'm going to have an each way hit with him.
I like it. Let's go across to the Group 2 Saudi Sprint 1,200 metre event on dirt. It is race number 4 in Riyadh, King Abdulaziz racetrack there. This is something that a few people have in a bar on a Saturday night. Win bet number 10, straight, no chaser here. John Velasquez takes the ride on this American speedster here. Look, 4 wins out of its last 5 starts, and it is just a jump and run speed machine, this horse. So look, I think it's going to be very hard to beat. You go back to its last win at Del Mar back in November, so a bit of a break between runs. But that is something that this horse has done, because you have a look at that previous run was 6 weeks before that, and before that hadn't been seen since May. So that was off a long break as well. So now it's third up after about a year off, or third run in about a year or so. I think he's going to be very, very hard to beat. Straight, no chaser.
Breeders' Cup Sprint winner. Not bad form lines, hey?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to join you there. Straight, no chaser with the win, owned by the American wing of My Racehorse Syndications. He's clearly the punter's favourite here, trained by the up-and-coming Daniel Blacker. And for all the other reasons Alex alluded to before, you can't pass.
Yep. Let's get across to the next event. It is race number 5. It is the Saudi International Handicap. So for the 90 to the 110 raters over there, 2,100 metre event. So there's a fair bit going on here. Look, I'm going to have something each way on number 5, My Frankel, for Johnny Velasquez here. Look, you'll have a look at the ownership colours here. You'll see this now. This ownership group has won the Saudi Cup in the past as well, the horse that John Gosden trained. So they've aimed up at this meeting once again. And look, I thought My Frankel's form coming into this was just okay, like had been running on the dirt in its most recent runs, but 3 starts back on the turf behind King Shalar over 2,100 metres was quite good, and was a winner before that over the 2,400 metres. But James Doyle taking the ride there, but Johnny Velasquez takes the ride here. So look, I think it's well placed back onto the turf. That's the main thing for me coming into this.
Yeah, I'm with going to do a bit of a trifecta here, and mind my pronunciation. I'm going for Carder and Blue Brother. I'm happy I got Blue Brother right. But yeah, one to highlight really was our 4 was it's definitely one that stuck out to me, and he's had a lot of success. They've had a crack at sending him to the UK prior. However, it was mixed results for a fair bit. However, to be fair, did come second at Newmarket. Trips no issue, and a very handy turn of foot.
Next event is the Saudi Cup. It is over 2,100 metres, the Turf Cup as it is for this event here. It is just a Group 2. I'm going to go on exacta here with number 6, Shin Emperor, the colt by Siuni, who last start was seen when running second to Dodeuce in the Japan Cup. Now, that's absolutely brilliant form as it is. Dodeuce was absolutely flying, had won the lead-up race to the Japan Cup as well. Then you go back, was 12th to Blue Stocking in the Arc. Before that was 3rd to Economics at Leopardstown in the Irish Champion Stakes. And then before that was 3rd in the Tokyo Yoshin, the Japan Derby. So look, absolutely brilliant form. Yoshido Yahagi, he knows how to travel a horse. He's won a Cox Plate before. He knows what he's doing. The next exacta horse in that is to run second is number 8, Spirit Dancer by Frankel. Richard Fahey trains this horse. Look, last start was behind Romantic Warrior. Now that all ties in here. Romantic Warrior.
Handy horse, that.
Goes all right, that Romantic Warrior. I saw him in Japan. In Hong Kong. And I thought he got a little bit fizzed up in the parade ring before the race. It was a massive day there, obviously being International Day in Hong Kong. And it was a bit humid. So I think the conditions may have got him, of course, having previously been in Bahrain. So the horse is very well travelled, but I think an exacta there with number 6, Shin Emperor, and number 8, Spirit Dancer to get the job done.
Yeah, a bit different, but not quite similar in regards to form lines. I'm with a horse just for the win, Al Riffer. He's got a lot of class coming into this race and draws incredibly well. Prior to this, he's beaten the likes of Narrativo, who, bit of a story one here, who I'm fairly certain we're going to see in Australia.
Oh.
And also, more recently, at Sandown during the Champion Series, lost by just under a length to the City of Troy. Heard of it?
One of the best horses in the world.
Yeah, one of the best horses in the world. So I thought, with all of that sort of form line considered, Al Riffer for the win is one for me.
All right, let's get across to the 1-3-5-1 sprint. It is on the turf. It's over 1,351 metres. So I'm going to have 2 bets in this race, the first of which being a win bet on number 12, Ascoli Paceno. This horse came across to Australia with a massive boom on it running in the Golden Eagle. And no offense to Joe Moreira, but he absolutely slaughtered this filly that day. She wasn't given the best of chances to win that race. So complete forgive run in a race that was run at a frantic pace. So you got to respect her starting price in that. The punters piled into her that day. Prior to that, she was a Group 1 winner over 1,600 metres at Nakayama. Yet to run below 1,400, but she won over 1,400 metres on debut at Tokyo. So she's a horse that can run at a fast speed over close enough to 7 furlongs. I think she's going to be extremely hard to beat there. And we're going to have a Quinella with number 10, Win Marvel, which is another Japan horse as well. But this 6-year-old gelding, 7 wins from 26 starts. Look, he was solid enough last start. That was back in December in the Hanshin Cup over 1,400 metres. But he was 3rd in the Mile Championship, and he's run 5th in a Sprinters Stakes. They're the 2 pieces of form I'm bringing into this. You're close up there, bringing a solid international rating. You can definitely run second to your international compadre. So win bet number 12, Ascoli Paceno, and a Quinella with number 10, Win Marvel.
I'm going to go with the Quinella, Dark Trooper, and Task Force. Now, Task Force sort of reminds me a bit like Verdad. He's always there and abouts and just loves coming second place. So you got to have it in the top 2 there. Frustrating to own, mind you, I can imagine. Dark Trooper, owned by Wathnan Racing. It comes into this race with some brilliant form lines and should look to jump well out of the gates given the wide draw. 2 from 3 this prep, he'll be very competitive.
Let's get across to the next race. What do we have here? We have the Group 2 handicap over 3,000 metres. A lot going on here. This is a tough race to figure out. Of course, we do have some very tough stays in this race. I'm going to go throw a trifecta in there with 4 horses. We'll start off with a number 2, Gregory. 10 starts, 3 wins for this horse. Was last seen running around at Doncaster over there, Carnival, in the 3,300 metre event. Didn't match up that day. Go back to the previous start. Ran into a okay enough horse called a Vauban running 3rd over the 3,200 metres.
Oh, yeah.
And then the prior 2 starts before that behind probably the best stayer in the world in Kyprios at Goodwood and at Ascot. So Gregory can definitely get into the placings here. Of course, I've got Continuous in there as well. Seen last start at Sha Tin in the Hong Kong Vase. Don't know what went wrong that day for Continuous. He looked to travel up well, and he was working pretty well leading up to the race. I saw him at Sha Tin working on the dirt, and I was like, the day before the race, I'm like, oh, he's ready to go. They'd given him a good tune-up. Before that, ran in the Champion Stakes over 2,000 metres, wasn't suitable. Before that, ran in the Arc, which again probably wasn't suitable, but had won a couple of races in Ireland last season as well as running in an Arc lead-up, running well enough there. Over 3,000 meters is much more suitable here. I've also got number 5, Byzantine Dream in there as well. 2 wins from it. There's 7 starts for this Japanese stayer. Has some very good form. Coming into this. Is a horse on the way up, though, because last year we did see him in the Japan Derby, but I think it's a horse on the way up by Epipanea. He's one of the best stallions in the world. And finally, Presage Nocturne in there as well. Winner at Deauville at its most recent start by Wootton Bassett. Geez, they go okay, the Wootton Bassets, don't they? So trifecta, 2, 3, 5, and 7 for me.
Nice one. I'm going to go with Al Nair and Dira Mile and a Quinella. Al Nair, in my opinion, has some very strong form heading into Saudi. However, the weight does concern me a little bit. Either way, the inside draw will make that work, and I'd be surprised if he's not on the podium. Dira Mile, though, has come up against the likes of, let's go through it, Jan Bruegel, City of Troy, and to his credit, done well on both occasions. Form line stacks up really well and receives a handy draw as well.
All right, let's get to the main event. I think this is the main event of the weekend. Of course, it is the Saudi Cup. It is on the dirt. It is over 2,000 meters. Romantic Warrior does take on the dirt for the first time. That's the most interesting part of this race. I'm going to let you tip first for this because I want to finish off.
All right, fair play. I was going to say, should we say it together? 3, 2, 1. I'm with Romantic Warrior for the win. I'm just going to be quite bullish here. J-Mac barrier 3, and he's just unbelievable. I can't wait to see him.
Shout out to the lovely Caitlin Mallion for drawing the barrier there too. She drew barrier 3 at the draw.
Oh, brownie points.
Brownie points for sure. So you're just with him.
Not that she needs them. Yeah, I'm just going to go Romantic Warrior for the win.
Oh, I might get fired after this. I'm tipping number 5, Forever Young to win and to knock off Romantic Warrior. Now, this is why. Romantic Warrior is the best horse in the world. There is no doubt about that in my mind. This is his first ever time on dirt. He may well handle it and he may well win. But with the punters in the world pool, everyone is going to be piling into Romantic Warrior. So he's going to start a very short price favorite. Forever Young probably should be your favorite. 9 starts for 7 wins. His defeat has come in the Breeders' Cup Classic and in the Kentucky Derby. There is 2 defeats. He's
pretty good races.
Dirt monster. He smashed up here last year when he won the 3-year-old race on the dirt over the mile. Absolutely stomped up. He's gone back to Japan and won all the over there as well. 2,000 meters is no issue. He's a winner at Maidan as well, over 1,900 meters. This is a dirt monster, and we're getting great odds to back Forever Young to knock off the best horse in the world.
Nice.
If I still have a job, I love you all. But let's get across to Hong Kong. Of course, 2 races there for the World Pool. The first of which being race 5, the Queen's Silver Jubilee Cup 1,400 meter Group 1 event. King Abdulaziz is going to start your short price favourite. He is going to get the job done here. The only little difference is Karis Teaton takes the ride with Zach Purton at the moment, out injured after that ugly fall that he had a couple of weeks ago. So I'm having Exacta with number 1, Ying Rising, and number 7, Red Lion. Red Lion ran second in this race last year. So look, this looks to be a set play from Johnny Size to get him to come back into form in this race. I thought the recent runs were quite good over the mile. A step back to 1,400 meters, it looks to be suitable. So I'm happy to have something on that Exacta horses, 1 and 7. Ying Rising to beat Red Lion.
Well played, well played. I'm just going to go pretty simple with the win here with Ying Rising. Just a genuine freak.
You just want some bank interest, don't you?
Yeah, I cannot see any horse beating him. I know it's a bit of a cop-out, but I also cannot wait to see if he ends up heading south.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully he comes here down to Australia. The next race and the final event on this World Pool preview is race number 7. It is the City Hong Kong Gold Cup over 2,000 metres. This would have been the Romantic Warrior benefit had he been around. Now, James McDonald jets back into Hong Kong after riding in Riyadh on Saturday night to ride Voyage Bubble here, who steps up to the 2,000 metres. Here's a freak, Voyage Bubble. The 1,600 up to the 2,000 is my only knock. It's why I'm going to have something on Chang Glory to place, who was a winner last start over 1,800 metres. Had Huey Bowman in the saddle that day. Bowman sticks here for Francis Loy. Barrier 7's a little bit tricky, but I wouldn't be surprised because we've sometimes seen Huey take luck out of the equation in these races and roll forward. This horse sat on the speed at last start over 1,800 metres, so hopefully Huey takes the chance and says, I'm going to roll forward because I'm probably on one of the strongest horses in this race. He was solid enough over 2,000 metres in the Derby last year, beaten 4 lengths, so I'm happy to have something on Chang Glory to place.
I pick up what you're putting down, mate. I'm going to go at Quinella myself with this Voyage Bubble and Galaxy Patch. Voyage Bubble is just an absolute freak of a horse. 4 starts this prep, 1-3, but only lost the first one. Came second to something, Galaxy Patch, I believe it was. So might as well go with those 2. Is there a bit of a rivalry here, a bit of a Pride of Jenny bright side happening here?
I mean, it's Voyage Bubble winning at the moment.
Yes.
Voyage Bubble's been winning the Group 1s. He's Galaxy Patch, you can have the lead-up race. It's fine, mate.
Fair enough. Well, I can't wait to see the two of them go around this weekend.
I do note that Galaxy Patch was really revved up first up. That was 4 runs ago. How he's going to go 5th up to 2,000 is my little bit of a knock.
Yeah.
But Pierre knows what he's doing. He's got Blake Shin coming.
Yeah. Oh,
yep.
Shin, bit of Aussie representation.
Of
How
course.
good.
We love Aussie representation. But that is all races done and dusted for the World Pool preview this weekend. A massive edition of World Pool racing coming your way. As I said, we start at Caulfield, we go to Riyadh, and we're back to Hong Kong to finish up the weekend. But of course, thank you to the Hong Kong Jockey Club and the World Pool for sponsoring this show. Of course, bet with the world and with the Hong Kong Jockey Club in the World Pool. Massive shout out to producer Gerald behind the screen. He's the one that does all the work here, let's be honest. Claps all around here. Pegs, you need to get some sleep because you're going to be staying up all night Saturday night watching all the action coming your way from Riyadh. And we're just...
No one text me.
No one text you?
Please don't just leave me alone.
You're just going to be locked in.
Just let me watch racing.
Let him watch racing.
And I might even get some takeaway as well.
Yeah. Of course, make sure you get around the Hong Kong Jockey Club on social media as well as us here at Punters on social media. Of course, Twitter, X, or Twitter is X, Facebook and Instagram, all that good stuff as well. I know the World Pool social accounts are pumping out some amazing content from Saudi Arabia at the moment, as well as in Hong Kong as well. But we are done and dusted this week on the Hong Kong Jockey Club World Pool preview. We'll be back with you next month for yet another World Pool preview.
What's gambling really costing you? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.